The ideal human being is supposed to love company, thrive on social interaction, get energized by crowds and conversations, and constant contact. We're told that if you don't enjoy having people over, if you prefer your own company to the company of others, then something must be wrong with you. People assume you're incomplete, that something about you needs repair. But here's the delicious irony. The people who feel most uncomfortable with visitors are often the ones who understand something profound about the nature of energy, about the architecture of the self, about the sacred quality of space. They're not running away from life. They're protecting something precious. They're honoring a truth that the constantly social, perpetually available, always entertaining crowd has completely forgotten. Your house isn't just a building made of walls and beams. It's a living portrait of your inner landscape, a translation of your spirit into form. Every hallway, every soft patch of light, every quiet corner carries the signature of who you are. When someone steps inside, they aren't merely entering a space, they're crossing the boundary of your being. When you cross your own doorway after a day of endless roles, employee, friend, caretaker, listener, you aren't just entering a building. You're stepping back into yourself. The air feels different here. The silence has your shape. This is the one place where no performance is required. No persona must be maintained. You can finally loosen the shoulders, exhale the day, and remember who you are beneath all the titles. But then, the doorbell rings. The sound cuts through the stillness like a reminder that the performance isn't done yet. Instinctively, you reach for the social mask. The pleasant voice, the polite smile, the small talk you've mastered to survive. And suddenly, your sanctuary becomes a stage again. The peace you just reclaimed slips through your fingers. It isn't that you dislike people. It's that your space holds meaning. It's sacred in ways that others may not understand. When someone steps inside, they're not just entering a home. They're entering your energy, your memories, your quiet rituals. They're walking through your unspoken self, and perhaps that's why you guard it so fiercely. Because this place isn't just where you live. It's where you return to life, where the outer noise dissolves, and the real you begins to breathe again. There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who come alive in the company of others, and those who come home to themselves in the quiet. The first kind feeds on connection. Their hearts expand through laughter, stories, noise, and motion. The more they give, the more they glow. They thrive in the symphony of interaction, where conversations blur into energy, and silence feels too heavy to bear. And then, there's the second kind, the ones whose light flickers brightest in solitude. For them, peace is not found in crowds but in moments of stillness when the mind can finally breathe. Their energy doesn't come from the outside world. It's born in the space between thoughts, in the slow rhythm of being alone. If that's you, understand this. Nothing about your quiet nature is wrong. You are not cold, detached, or antisocial. You are simply wired to move inward, to draw from a source that others can't see. Your silence is your sanctuary, not your weakness. While others refuel through sound, you do it through stillness. While others seek people to find clarity, you seek space to rediscover your own voice. There's a certain kind of beauty in that balance. What others see as distance is really depth, because when you retreat into silence, you don't disappear. You return. You gather the scattered parts of yourself and reassemble what the noise has undone. A storm needs the sea to rage, but a tree needs silence to grow. You are that tree. Your strength is rooted in quiet soil. So protect it. Your peace is not a pause from life. It's the pulse that keeps your spirit alive. That uneasy feeling when someone enters your space, it often runs deeper than just wanting quiet. It's your inner self whispering that something delicate is unfolding inside. Beneath the calm surface, there's a kind of work happening. Silent. sacred, invisible to the world. It's the process of healing, of understanding, of meeting your own shadow without flinching. We all carry hidden rooms within us, places where unspoken memories live, where the echo of old emotions still lingers. They aren't bad or broken. They're just unfinished stories waiting for patience instead of judgment. When you finally sit alone long enough to listen, these stories start to speak. They rise like dust in sunlight, slow, quiet, honest, and in that stillness, you begin to piece yourself back together. But when someone enters uninvited, even with good intentions, that fragile balance trembles. It's like working on a puzzle made of glass, and a sudden movement scatters it across the floor. Your mind tightens. Your spirit retreats. Not because you dislike the person, but because your healing asks for solitude. You can't face your inner world while wearing your social mask. You can't hear your truth over the sound of someone else's voice. And that's okay. You're not distant. You're healing from years of pretending. The quiet you seek is healing, not escape. The solitude you guard is the space where broken parts learn how to speak again. Healing doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like choosing to stay home. Sometimes it looks like saying no to noise. Sometimes it's just sitting in your own energy until it feels like yours again. That's shadow work, not darkness, but the slow return of light. A home is more than walls and windows. It's the architecture of your inner world. Every object, every room, every flicker of light carries meaning. The way you arrange your furniture, the corners you fill, and the ones you leave empty. All of it mirrors the unseen map of your soul. You don't just live in your house. You express yourself through it. In dreams, a home often represents the self. Each room reflects a part of your being. The living room, where you host the world. The bedroom, where your truth quietly rests. The attic, where memories sleep. And the locked door you never open. That's the emotion you haven't faced yet. The layout of your space is a language your subconscious speaks fluently, even if your conscious mind can't yet translate it. So when someone steps across your threshold, it isn't just a casual visit. They're walking through your symbols, through fragments of your story, through the energy that holds your emotional fingerprints. To you, that visit can feel like exposure, even if they mean no harm, because they're not just seeing your decor, they're stepping into your psyche. That's why silence feels sacred. The stillness of your home is a reflection of the stillness within you. It's where thoughts organize themselves, where emotions soften into clarity. You don't guard your space out of pride. You guard it because it's your temple. And maybe that's the truest meaning of home. Not a place to impress others, but a space that allows you to dissolve the outside world and return to essence. Before you belong to anyone or anywhere, you belong to the quiet walls that know your voice. Needing time alone is not a flaw. It's a quiet kind of wisdom. In a world that glorifies constant interaction, choosing solitude is an act of courage. It's not running away. It's returning home to yourself. Because the most sacred relationship you will ever build is the one you have with your own presence. And like any deep connection, it asks for space, patience, and gentleness. Your energy isn't community property. You don't owe it to anyone. The hours you spend alone are not wasted. They're where your spirit exhales. It's in those silent stretches of time that you begin to hear your own thoughts clearly, untangled from everyone else's expectations. The noise of the world fades, and your true voice, the one buried beneath layers of obligation, begins to speak again. Protecting your solitude isn't selfish. It's an act of self-respect. The same way a gardener tends their soil, you tend your inner world by protecting your peace. Without rest, the soil turns hard. Without stillness, your energy burns out. You need quiet to bloom. So when someone calls and you don't answer, or when you choose to stay home instead of joining the crowd, understand, that's not withdrawal. That's alignment. You are choosing clarity over chaos, Authenticity over approval. Listen when your body sighs at the thought of small talk. Pay attention when your spirit whispers, "Not today," because those whispers are wisdom in disguise. Solitude isn't a void. It's where you rebuild. It's where you reassemble the parts of yourself that the world pulls apart. It's where you remember that being alone doesn't mean being lonely. It means finally being whole.